I guess let's start in terms of being seniors at 18. What's kind of like the feeling that this is almost about to be done in terms of high school?
I'd say just everything, coming to an end. Like last night, I just had my last orchestra concert. So every time something happens and it's a last, you're getting closer and closer to being done. It's kind of daunting, to be honest, but it's also kind of a show to that we're gonna have a lot more firsts after that. So.
Yeah, it's just being an adult now. It's just kind of different. I have a lot more responsibilities. I got to learn a lot more things, and it's just kind of a surreal feeling because I've been going on these elementary school walks, middle school walks, just kind of looking back at like your past, and it's just kind of hits you.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nostalgic feeling of kind of taking you back.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Really, I can't this whole year I haven't been to escape the reality that this is the last year. So during football season or really every sports season that we played, after every game, really I've always just thought this is, I'm never gonna get this time back. And even after having a great time, wins, losses, just knowing that that's it. It's gonna be over, and this is the last ride of high school. And like Caleb said, we're starting to get to experience a little bit of adulthood, not even full force, and it's kind of stressful. Having to get all these records and immunizations and just finish everything to, get everything ready for the academy. And it's, it's a little stressful. We've had not a tough time, but we've had an interesting time with it. And but it's been fun. I say the hardest thing is just escaping the reality of that it's going to be over.
It's all part of the journey, man, of growing up.
Yeah.
It seems like daunting and it's a lot, but it's all worth it. So just kind of quickly, so that way we kind of get to know a little, not you have to go about your whole life story, but what exactly are you all involved in terms of at John Jay? Obviously you said orchestra, what else?
So I'm in orchestra. We're also all part of the Bible club as well. NHS as well too. So things that help us show leadership and help the community, help people. And then we all play different sports. Personally, I play football, soccer, and I run track. But as far as school, that's as far as it went. Caleb and I this year, we did the ACE mentorship program as well. So as part of engineering, and that helped us explore more in engineering fields and kind of help us really understand what we want to do. But as far as school goes, I believe that's what we do.
Yeah, we I guess like he said, we all played sports. For me personally, I played football and soccer, and we were in different clubs. We were in Bible club. The ACE mentorship, like he said. We were very involved in John Jay because we love this place and we think that there's no replaceable memories here. So.
Did you all play football together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
So this is kind of I'm assuming here being in the weight room, which I kind of thought was a little bit different. Also kind of bringing back some memories.
Yeah, this is where it all started.
Yeah.
So I played football, baseball, basketball, and track. I ran track this year. Me and Devan have both been a part of this community for a long time. Caleb's been here since high school, but he also had a brother come through Jay. So we've all known about Jay and the environment here for a long time. Guller, how long has it been since you were alive? Your grandma worked here, right?
Yeah, my grandma worked here. My grandma worked here for 40 years, I want to believe so, about 45 years. And she's also a student here. So, growing up, just like him, with his dad as the coach, growing up, I was always here. I was always in the office doing stuff, And as a young kid, you don't really get to understand, the community as a full. But when you grow up and you go here, it's not like it's something special. And I'm really blessed to be able to have been here for as long as I have. And it's kind of surreal, seeing all the older high school kids when I was a little kid and kind of feeling like that was so far away. And now I'm graduating. Now we're all graduating. And being able to experience all those things like football and things that just seem like, these are big kids doing great things.
Yeah.
And now I'm one of those kids. Yeah, so it's definitely great. But this community runs really, really deep, and it's big. My grandma. She's a great inspiration to me, and I got to have her here my freshman year, and just Jay is where I grew up, and I love this place.
And this is where this place has some of the best memories in it too. After every game, we'd come in here, win or lose. Coaches would talk to us and everything. We had some great celebrations in here. We also had some great talks in here too about how to overcome adversity and how I remember our last game when we lost in the third round. All the coaches were talking about how things will change. Like, it's going to be different now. You're going to lose connection with some people because the only connection that you really had with them was football, and how you saw them every day was football practice, just the athletic period. And luckily, for all of us, really, we haven't really lost connection with. Well, for me, I don't think anybody from football season. I still talk to everybody. We see them around school all the time, and that's a big thing.
I feel like that community and that connection. How would you say that this experience and then going here has kind of shaped you and prepared you to what's next? I mean, well, obviously we're gonna get to what's next.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, 'cause it's
Yes,
a big
sir.
deal. But before we get there, it's like, how do you think? What have you learned? What has the school taught you? You know, obviously y'all are involved in a lot, but
Yeah.
to prepare you to this next step that you're about to take.
Well, this school, you know, we're a family here. We preach that here. We're family. This is a very family-oriented school. We're very, you know, together. We're like brothers here, and we bleed for each other. And you know, we were molded, you know, in this very room right here. It helps mold us into the young men that we are today, and it'll continue to help future generations. And you know, all the coaching staffs and teachers have done a phenomenal job here, and they will continue to do a phenomenal job here because they're great people, not just teachers, they're great people. And I'm very blessed to have had an experience here.
Yeah, well, like Jackson said, it started here too. You know, it started in here. A lot of it did. We first started working out in here freshman year during COVID, and it was, you know, definitely an obstacle to get around. You know, having to live
6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning. That's what I was getting to. One of the things that we say is eat. Effort, attitude, and toughness is what it stands for.
Yep.
And so, you know, obviously family is a great thing, but you know, family can be useless if you don't push each other, and that's what we do. We're there for each other. You know, so we exemplify that, and we push it. And you know, if somebody's, you know, kind of falling behind, you know, we're going to make sure that, you know, we don't leave them in the dust. And like I said, you know, it started here, 6:30 in the morning. I remember getting here as a freshman, and just, you know, working our tails off, and you know, being taught and being forced in a healthy environment to push ourselves to our limit and then past our limit. You know, I remember, you know, cold in those mornings, and we'd go out there and stretch after we were done lifting, and just like we were steaming because we were sweating so much, and then when you go out in the cold, it all comes off you. So you know, that hard work was really ingrained into us, and you know, when you learn hard work and when you learn perseverance and, you know, challenging yourself and being comfortable with being uncomfortable, then that's going to allow you to take down any challenge you got, you know, in the future. So I feel like was what prepared us. It really started in here.
I think just like the people here, like Caleb said, I think there's great people everywhere here. And I've gotten a lot of opportunities to speak in front of people, which is hard to do. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. I remember my first time, like, just standing up on a podium in front of somebody. Like, I was sweating and I was super nervous, stuttering, fumbling my words. But the opportunities here are, like, they're just endless, like all the great organizations that we have. But it really helps you with communication skills, even with people you don't know. And talking to people you don't know is, like I said, it's like a really hard thing, but all the teachers here are good with it, and they teach the subject that they're teaching, but they also teach people. Like, they, you know, teach us how to talk to people, teach us what to say in certain situations, what not to say, and just how to be a good person. That's one of the really big lessons I've taken from here.
And so much going beyond the lesson plan.
Yeah.
I like
Mm-hmm.
that.
And the community here is great. You know, I've experienced, like, you know, my brother went through here, he played soccer, and I was at a lot of his games. You know, he lettered for 4 years, I believe, and he was a phenomenal player in my eyes, and I was really inspired by him. But the community around him, the brotherhood that he built with his team, and the people in the stands that I was with, it was just great, and it was just inevitable that I was going to be attending this school.
So let's get to the academy part. Did you guys like plan this out, like map this out together? Because it seems like a brotherhood.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is. Yeah, it definitely is.
So how did this happen?
I think it wasn't really planned.
Okay.
It'd be kind of
Not
cool
at
if it
all.
was, but it wasn't planned at all. It just kind of started to converge, and you know, we've all been great friends all of high school. But you know, freshman year we didn't walk in. We're all gonna go to the Naval Academy. Personally, I wanted to go to the Naval Academy for a long time. My interest in the Navy and specifically aviation, which is what I want to do, started when I went to the USS Lexington down in Corpus when I was a Cub Scout, and then you know I just kind of got sucked into it. I mean, I wanted to learn everything I could, and I got really interested in it, and that made that my goal. But as they can, say on. It just really started to converge, and, we've just kind of been put in this situation, but, we're trying to take it the best way we can, and it's really a great opportunity.
For me, I've had a lot of military family. I've had a cousin that actually went through the Naval Academy. I had grandparents that have served in Vietnam, and other family members that have served in Iraq, and so I always knew that military was in my family, and I always looked forward to a career in the military. And I knew about the service academies. I didn't know exactly if they were for me until I had great discussions with actually Devan here. I remember the really good turning point was last year on July 4th. Actually, it was that day, July 4th, and he really we had a great discussion, and I knew it was for me, and I had to apply, and we're here now, and I'd like to thank him.
He did all the work.
I was going to say, you did all the work to get in there. What about you?
So for me, my dream as from a little kid has always been to play college football, or a college sport, really. But I really never knew about the service academy opportunities until obviously I was, offered a scholarship to West Point and Navy, and as soon as it happened, obviously Devan, having wanted to attend the university since he was, I mean, how old were you?
Probably like
little. Yeah. So as soon as he was one of the first people I called when it happened. I was at the academy when it happened. I called my mom first, obviously. Then I called Devan. When I got back that week, he was just, we started talking about everything, the opportunities, the prestige of the degree and everything. And that wasn't just about Navy. That was really about both, because he supported me whether I'd go to Army or Navy. But that really opened my eyes, was getting a scholarship offer there, and obviously going on my visits and everything. The coaching staff at Navy really pulled me in there. Reminded me a lot of the coaching staff here, and just the opportunity to have a job when you get out of college, being an officer in the Navy I'm excited for it, and I want to be an aviator as well. You want to be? Yeah, we all. Yeah, I think we all want to be naval aviators. So, obviously that's something that we've all discussed like all the time. I don't think there's been a day where we don't really talk about it, and that really sparked my initial interest. It was April 8th last year, and since then I've been all go Navy since.
I know that it's very rigorous, very selective in terms. Was that kind of a lot going through the process of getting accepted?
Yeah, I'd definitely say, when you start it, when you make an account and you open up that portal in the very beginning, it does seem very daunting. It's definitely a lot more steps than you have to go through than a normal college application, because it's not just the application. You have physical tests, and you have to go get doctor tests, and you also have to get a nomination from a congressman or any other the officials that you can get one from. So seeing all these things you have to do. I remember last summer, I was like, this is I've always said I wanted to do it, but it's definitely a tall task. But you just, another thing you can learn from it is just taking it step by step. You just, instead of just trying to do everything at once, what can I do right now, and what can I get this done, and when can I get the next thing done, and but it's hard work, and the application of getting in and of itself, taught me some lessons as well, that I will definitely be very valuable going into the academy. But it does take hard work, and I'm very proud of this guy for it, because he really took it and ran. And I remember telling him about it, and Caleb's always been a hard worker, but it was just kind of I just kind of put it on him, but he took it strong, and this is one of the hardest working guys that I know, and he has gone through so much adversity and has really taken it and kept going every single time. He gets back up no matter what, and that's why I'm really proud of him. So I'm really proud of you, Caleb.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
But also too, I think the fact that you are going to know somebody too is going to
helps
make a
big
huge
time,
difference,
big
right?
time. Especially coming from the same school. I feel like people from the same town obviously helps.
Right.
But nonetheless, coming from the same school is a big deal. I know, especially for me, having these two there will be a big deal for me. Having like some sort of comfort with somebody, and knowing that I can trust them, I know them, I know how they work, how they think. I think that'll be a really big deal for me, and I know that they'll push me. Like, they won't let me slack off. That's not going to happen with these two around, and I think we're really all excited to go, because there will be a bunch of people like that. Like we will have a bunch of,
Like-minded.
I'll have a bunch of Caleb and Devins at the academy. So I think that's what we're excited about as well.
It's not bad. you
Not
know,
a- not a bad thing at all.
Not a bad thing at all.
So what's next in terms of graduation, right, obviously, and then, so when do y'all head off, and then what does that look like?
So induction day is the 27th of June.
Oh, wow, that's
So
soon.
relatively
Yeah,
soon. Yes, we
really,
graduate the
really quick.
13th, and then we get a.
Of June?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
wow.
June 13th, and then we.
So we get a week.
I know me and Devin fly out
The
25th. Are you
25th.
flying out 25th too?
Yeah, I might be.
I think
Yeah,
25th,
I will,
yeah.
but I mean, week and a half, and
Yeah,
it's
we're
it's
gone,
go
we're outta
time.
here. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's pretty quick turnaround. But at the same time, it's important that we don't. I mean, it's a huge thing to do, and there's a lot that goes into it, and there's a reason that we do plebe summer. So the big turnaround is kind of, it's a little scary. It's a little daunting. As we're leaving this place we love so much, and like it's going to be different like that. But it's a great opportunity, and it'll definitely change us for the better. And really, more than anything, the closer we get to it, the less and less scared I get, and the more and more excited I get.
Yeah,
Same here.
it's definitely intimidating. Especially with like everything that I've read online, and like I've talked to people,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh man, it's gonna be like one of the most difficult things," and it's just like it's scary, But like I'm really excited for it, and we're all gonna do really well. I know it. So very
Listen, y'all
confident.
got there, that was one big thing, and now you're gonna be there, and you go through that.
Yeah.
What does the future look like? And I want you all to answer this.
Okay.
What do you see the future look like for you individually?
So I'll start. So obviously I'll go my freshman year and go through everything, graduate as officer, and I want to, like I said, be an aviator, and then obviously playing football there. If I have a shot, I'd like to try to get into a training camp in the NFL. Try to chase my dream real quick right before I go into the military. So that's a big deal for me. I'm gonna work hard in the military aspect, but also in the athletic aspect as well. And then I want to serve for I think I'll serve for more than 5 years. And then when I retire or whenever, I think I want to get into some coaching too. Despite my dad telling me never to do it, I think that's what I want to do. So.
So for me, I want to go to the academy and do my freshman year or plebe year. Graduate as an officer. I want to study mechanical engineering. That's also been a pretty big dream of mine, becoming a mechanical engineer. Just runs my family. I want to become an aviator as well. I probably will serve more than 5 years. I really want to serve. So I want to do my time to my best ability. And then, maybe just retire, maybe I could do some mechanical engineering job. Then, just live life.
So really my idea is I don't have 100%, step-by-step plan of what I want to do. My idea is I just want to do everything to the best ability that I can, the highest level that I can do it. I plan on walking on the football team there, and if that doesn't go to plan, then they have sprint football as well. So I'm definitely going to play football. I want to play that. I haven't been playing it for as long. I didn't play until high school, but I've definitely fell in love with the sport, and that's what I want to do. And then I also want to do, if I have time, orchestra. They have an orchestra there, and I don't know if I would want to become a professional musician, but I definitely do think it would be, it would be fun. I love playing the cello. I've been playing it since 5th grade, and if I have the opportunity to do it, I definitely would. But when it comes to academics, I want to be an aerospace engineer. SEA, Science Engineering Academy, has definitely prepared me for that, prepared all of us for that. Engineering is something I've always been interested in. It's just cool. It's really cool, and I've always wanted to work with airplanes, and being able to innovate in that field potentially is a great opportunity, and it really excites me as well. I'm probably going to stick in the military longer than 5 years as well, after that, whatever comes my way is really what I'm going to do. I've thought about coaching as well. I've gotten more into coaching recently. I coach some little kids soccer, and I like to go and help 7-on-7 if I can. But the more I do it, the more I enjoy investing into youth, because I had people investing in me, and I realized how important it is. So my biggest idea is, as long as I'm giving back to people, as long as I'm contributing to other people and helping other people, I will feel fulfilled. So that's what I want to do.
guys are so well spoken. Oh my gosh, I could keep going and going and going. But in TV, we gotta they're like, cut it down, Ramos. So it's like we can't go that long. I mean, it's all that I need. Is there anything else you guys would like to say? Any other final words, or you just want to get off your chest?
Well, I'm very proud of these two guys. I'm very happy and excited that they get to go. We all get to go together. These guys are both like some of the hardest workers I know. I surrounded myself with hard workers, and these two have really done a good job. And I'm excited that they get to follow their dreams and go wherever they want to go afterwards. And it's really cool. And I'm very proud of them.
And I just want to acknowledge I'm proud of these guys too, but the hard work that goes into stuff like this I don't think people know. Especially, and I'm going to just backtrack to football a little bit. I mean, all three of us were here at 6:30 in the morning and didn't leave till 7 every day. And that work ethic that was instilled in us helped us get to the place we are right now. And none of us are in sports right now, and we're still here at 6:30 in the morning and don't leave. Well, actually, we probably leave at about 6 now. But
Yeah, it's still 1 hour, 1 hour earlier.
We have no practice anymore, but
Yeah.
we're still here grinding and working
Mhm.
in the classroom, and athletically, we're getting ready to go into some basic training. None of us know what's going to happen, but we're preparing ourselves to the best of our ability.
Yeah, never let off the gas.
Yeah.
Never.
No, because you'll slow down too much and it's hard to get back up. There's no, even if you don't have a sport in season, there's no reason to keep working. You can always better yourself. You're never going to be perfect. And I think that, kind of piggybacking off what they said, that ethic, you can't really, you can improve it, but you can't really force it. And once you got it, you got it. Habits become habits, and whether that's better for worse, that depends on what it is. But, hard work is a really great thing to be able to have, and just, wanting to come in here and get better, and wanting, to be like, I need to do this, and, not really being able to. I know for me, sometimes it's like, I feel bad if I didn't, if I maybe didn't do my 100% sometimes, and that's something that, really takes you far in life, because, you always try to do your best. But other than that, I'm really proud of these guys as well. I know I'm saying the same thing the third time in a row.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of these guys. I'm really proud of this guy for chasing his dream. I know he's wanted this for a long time, and he deserves it more than anybody. I mean, he's one of the hardest workers I've ever met, and he's a phenomenal leader. Playing with him on the field was definitely something, different. And I always felt that, when I was out there with him, that, he was there to make everybody else better. He was there to make me better, as well as, obviously he wants to play his best, but he realizes that, nobody can play their best if everybody else isn't as well. So that was something that, I really appreciated, and I know it's definitely going to translate very well into the academy, and hopefully I get to play with him again there. And then with this guy, I mean, he definitely, he's gone through a lot of stuff, and he's really, like I said earlier, he's really taken it in stride, and he has no reason other than for himself and to improve himself to come in here every morning and work as hard as he can. He's never gonna fear down from any challenge and be like, I don't feel like I want to do that, or he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it because he knows that it's gonna make him better. So I'm really proud of Caleb. He's really taking this on really well. To be honest, when I told him, I was like, hey, this is a great opportunity, but I don't really feel like I ever expected anybody at that point to want to follow it, because
It's hard.
It is hard. It is really hard, and kind of like saying when you asked, if we're excited we're together. When I was in 5th grade and I was like, I'm gonna go to the Naval Academy, everybody's like, I don't know what that is, like UT, A&M or anything, but in a selfish kind of way, I'm so excited that I get to go with these guys. To be able to have them, and no matter what happens, I know that I could always, call them up, and be like, come over to my room and do homework or something, and it'll be really fun. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my grandparents. I love my grandparents so much. I love my grandpa. He was a big inspiration to me. I didn't get to say it earlier, but he was in the Marines as another inspiration for me, and he's there for me no matter when I need it. And my grandma, like I said as well, she came here and really, put me in the J community, and that's something that I think really affected me for the better, because the amount of lessons and people that I've met here that I wouldn't have otherwise, is something that is I'm really blessed to have. So I just want to thank my grandparents.
Very well spoken. Always got to give a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.